I'm Kelly Lewis, and today I'm going to teach you a really simple recipe for Kichari in the summertime. So we're going to begin with 1/2 cup of white basmati rice, and then the simplest lentils are these red lentils that you can find at Trader Joe's or some of the healthier grocery stores. And I'm just going to put both of them together in a bowl. And then we want to pour some water . And you're going to want to let these soak for several hours. So what I do is I get up in the morning and then I start soaking my lentils in rice. So you can set that aside. Now once it's time for dinner time, you're going to rinse your rice and lentils. Do this first. And you want to rinse them really well to remove any of the lectins that might still be on them. And then you're going to add those to a pot, and you're going to double the amount of water. So since we use 1/2 cup of rice, 1/2 cup of lentils, we're going to use 2 cups of water. I also like to add in a few bay leaves in my Kichari. I tend to be dry, so I will usually put a tablespoon of ghee. And you can also, if you have some fresh rosemary, you can throw some rosemary in with your Kichari. You can also add some spices. I make up a blend in Ayurveda. Our core spices are going to be cumin, coriander, and fennel. And you can use some Himalayan salt, a little black pepper. Depending on the season and the person, you can add in things like mustard and turmeric, maybe cinnamon and cardamom and coriander. And so I've got about 10 different spices in here, and so I usually put a little bit into the pot with my Kichari, and then you're going to bring it to a boil just like you do rice. Once it comes to a boil, put a lid on it, turn it down to low, and then just cook it for 20 minutes like we would with rice. So for the vegetables, in the summertime you want to use cooling vegetables. So any of our green vegetables are going to be good. You can use carrots, sweet potatoes as well. Today we're just going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to use one vegetable, asparagus. So one thing that I learned in Ayurveda is with raw fruits and vegetables, they can have all kinds of harmful little microbes that can be on them naturally in nature in the form of a fungus or mold, bacteria, and then you have the handling of the fruits and vegetables, from the farm to the store, and even in the store, people can be handling the vegetables. So I always like to clean them, and I make up a bottle of just vinegar and water, a couple drops of lemon essential oil, and I spray the vegetables down really well. I'm just going to let those soak for a moment. And now we're going to warm up our pan. And again, we're using ghee. Ghee is a clarified butter. I get mine from Costco, it's the cheapest. And I'm going to put, again, because I'm dry, I'm going to put a heaping tablespoon of ghee in my pan. And once that gets really hot and melted, then we'll add in our spices. When you're using raw spices, then you want to cook them before you eat them, for the same reason that we wash the vegetables, because even any plant growing in nature could contain molds or bacteria or viruses, and so we want to heat them up to avoid any contamination. So my oil's melted. I'm going to add, this is about a tablespoon of my spices. And you can also add fresh ginger because it's about 112 here today and I'm Pitta dominant. I'm not going to add any ginger. I am going to stir the spices. We want to warm the spices up, wake them up, bring out their flavor. And one way I was taught is you could throw in some mustard seeds, and when they pop, then it's hot enough to add your vegetables. All right, so I'm going to rinse these really well. Excess water. You can see I cut the more fibrous stems at the bottom off. And we're just going to add those into the pan. We want to stir them around so that they get coated with the spices. And now I'm going to steam these by adding a little bit of water. And I'm going to cover them. And asparagus don't need to cook for that long. So after 20 minutes, your Kichari base will look like this. You can see I've got the leaves in there. We can just remove those. Serve, you just start with your rice. Now if you tend to be dry, you can add a little more melted ghee on top. For the summer, we're going to use lime instead of lemon. During the cooler months, you can use lemon for that acid and sour taste, but now that we're in summertime, lime is a much better option. It's not going to be heating. So I'm just going to add a little lime. And as you can see, I have some extra cut because some people like a little extra lime in their vegetables. We don't like to overcook the vegetables. We want them to still have their color. Soft, but not completely limp. Right, and then you'll just top your Kichari with the vegetable of your choice. And like I said, if you want a little more oil, you can drizzle some ghee. You can squeeze some more lime. And if you have coconut aminos, that's another nice little condiment that you can add on top to give it some more flavor. And coconut's going to be less heating. Coconut in nature is a cooling fruit or plant. So that is my simple summer Kichari recipe. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.